This poor game. Look at this thing. Just look at this thing. This is so sad. I saw this at a store. Because I asked them, I said, do you have any games that have the security stickers or like movie rental stickers or something on them? Because I love taking those off. And they brought this out. And I loved this game. I had this game ages ago. I loved it. Loved it. And I mean, there's nothing fancy to it. It's not like it's an amazing game or anything. It's just a stacking game. It's super simple, but I mean, just look at this. Like, just like look at it. There's this. Like, why this? I know it's a barcode. I get that these are all barcodes, but like a barcode and a price sticker, and of course, movie stickers, so that you can't open it. I don't know. You couldn't open it and steal it or something, but then at some point someone had cut them open. And then there's like old sticker. I'm guessing one of these two, this one or this one, was from a library, I think. But just the amount of nonsense that this poor game has gone through. I have a copy already. But when I saw this, I was like, what? This is the kind of stuff that bums me out, because these are the kind of games that I think we're not going to, you're not going to see them as much. You're not going to see, there we go. Had to tighten it up. I'm shaking so much. It's still doing it. These are the type of games that no one really thinks of them that much. So there's not like a focus on, well, let me keep this in good condition. But like there's stickers on the label. There's a ton of stickers on the label. There's security stickers. There's whatever that is. I don't want to know. There's a price sticker. So price sticker, price sticker, price sticker, price sticker. And this is the stuff that bums me out. Here's what we're going to do is I'm going to take my little scraper. I'm going to sharpen up the edges a little bit. Here's the thing that just kind of bums me out about kind of what I'm looking at right here, is that this has probably been through so much and so many different things, and people are just like, meh, I don't care. And just kind of tossing it around, and this is what you end up with it. But this was someone's first game. This was one of my first games. And to see it end up like this is just frustrating. Here's the irony. I was cleaning this the other day. Look at that. Pristine. And this isn't my original copy at all. But look, but because Dragon Warrior is more popular, that's what you get because Dragon Warrior is a bigger deal. So you end up with something like that. Okay. I guess. So it's just like, well, then what made Dragon Warrior so much more important than Yoshi? So let's get into it. So some of this stuff might clean up pretty well, and we'll see. The important thing is to just kind of, dig into every single little spot, see kind of what it looks like. Oh, you see, that's going to come up just fine. And I think that's the other thing that kind of bugs me about a lot of this, is that I bought it. What in the world? Oh, it's security tape. So it's not going to turn out just fine. I don't know if you can see that. Ugh. So, okay, it's fine. Actually. So I think the thing that kind of bums me out about a lot of this is that I bought this from a game store, and this was literally how the game store had it sitting on their shelf. They had 2 copies. was that tearing or is that residue? No, okay, so I was freaking out a little bit because I thought that was tearing the paper. That's actually just the residue coming off. They had 2 copies of Yoshi on their shelf, and this one I think was $4.99, which again, it says 99 cents. But they had this one that was like $4.99, and then they had another one that didn't have all of this stuff, and they were asking $12 for it, I think. And it's just kind of just this depressing, like, what, you're making that differentiation strictly because of the condition. So what's happening right here is it's a security tag with a strip up the center. You want to be, I don't like this. You want to be careful when you're doing this. Don't think I'm ripping. No, I'm not ripping the paper. I was going to say, honestly, for a second, didn't know if I was ripping the paper or not. A little intimidating. But yeah, so they were asking, I don't know, they're asking like $10 more for the non-label covered one. And it's just kind of one of those, like, well, you're a game store. You should be, oh, goodness. Oh, that's actually, that's coming up. You're a game store. You should be, I don't know, maybe I have high expectations of what a game store should and shouldn't do. But to me, if you're a game store that is focusing on, pre-owned games and stuff, I think, and again, I might be wrong, but I think you should have some wherewithal and ability to remove some of this stuff, or at least know the basics of how to remove some of this stuff if you're going to price based on condition. But I guess if you're going to price based on condition, then that negates the whole reason to have to actually clean up your stuff, I guess. I don't know. It's just seeing stuff like this is a bit of a downer. Because it just reminds me that, if this was, again, if this was like Dragon Warrior or something, that I feel like people would be taking a lot more time with it because it's important, and it's even Dragon Warrior is not that expensive, but you know what I mean. People would be taking their time trying to make sure that it comes back to life the way that it should. This does not want to go. Just more and more, the more that I see people with their graded and sealed games, the more that I worry about, in the future, it's going to be, all I'm doing is just cleaning this off. In the future, all it's going to be is like, here are all your graded and sealed games. And if you want to play the actual game, then you have to find one person with that remaining game or something. It just that concept to me is just kind of a downer. Especially because if I had a store, I don't know. Can you imagine if I had a store, though? Every game would be like immaculately clean, but then I would also just be giving away games because they'd be like, this is a really good game, you should play it. And then I'd just give it away. They were making fun of me the other day because I said I was too positive about video games. I know that I am super positive about video games because video games right now are fantastic. I don't like every video game. There's a ton of video games out there that I don't like. Probably. But I'm just really excited at what video games are right now. That's the part that I'm really excited about. How accessible they are, how people are getting into them, that sort of thing. That's a big driving factor of why I do a lot of this. It's because, you know, Yoshi might not be a big deal to a lot of people. But to some people, I mean, that was everything. Everything. So it's like, how cool is that you can bring... Oh, there's a little bit of discoloration. How cool is that you can bring something like this back to, you know, a decent enough life, and it's someone's, you know, someone's memory. It's someone's favorite game from when they were a kid. Whoa. Whoa. We're fine here. There we go. Man, these are... Man! Like, why? Like, just... Why several times? Several times? Why? You know, sure, the first time you put a tag on it and you're good, but I don't know why these Q-tips are sticking on me so much. Oh, that's probably why. I got tape on me. It's a glove repair video now. There we go. Just... I kind of wish that video game stores could all have like a unified labeling system. Like, how cool would that be to where you don't have to go in and, you know, plunk down your store's label on something, that you just use that universal label. But same thing on here. It's coming up. It's coming up okay, but you just want to be careful that you don't gouge the paper. So I will coat the Scotty peeler in a little bit of Heptane to kind of help smooth it along. But as you do this, if you get any kind of resistance, if it doesn't just immediately slice in and start to pull up the label, just stop. Just don't even try to use the metal blade, because you're going to end up making it a lot worse. So just switch to the plastic and just, you know, a light pressure, but you want to focus on rolling it up. So it's this kind of a movement, and you'll pull it off. I'm telling you, if you put IPA, isopropyl alcohol, on this label will fade. Okay, so sorry, if you put Guggen on this label, you are going to lose some of the color. We're already going to lose a little bit of the color from the label itself, from the sticker itself. But why make it worse adding in more chemicals that you don't need to? Oh my gosh, look at this label. This sticker, jeez. That's awful. Okay. I mean, this is another one where, you know, Guggen in a hairdryer is not what you want to do. So this might seem excessive. This might seem like, well, honestly, who's going to go to that detail? But, you know, to the people that watch these videos, I guess, and people that say that it's excessive, look at the results. Like, sorry, look at the results, and, you know, come back and tell me that it's being excessive. You know, if I can take a little bit of time and use a little extra method to be able to do something to get a fantastic result, you know, why wouldn't I? I'll take this off camera just a second because I want to get up close and look at it just to make sure that I'm not losing any color. And I'm not. So if I was losing color, you would see yellow and green. You would see that on the paper. Heptane can remove some of the color if it's left on too long. Heptane dries quick, but it can remove a little bit of the color. What I'm running into right now is there's a lot of residue. So you see all the sticky stuff? You want to get that off of the paper as quickly as you can. So in whatever direction you have to go to get it off of the paper, that's the direction you go in. So you want to get it on plastic so you're able to scrape it up a little bit easier. You don't want to, like, you wouldn't want to push it back onto more paper because you have to get that residue off, and it's a whole lot easier to get that residue off on plastic than it is on the label itself. So if you see me wiping, I'll add another round here. If you see me wiping like in weird directions and stuff, it's just because I'm trying to take the excess residue. You can see a little bit on the towel there. Actually, I'm also covered in it. But you can see a little bit of the residue there. It's me wanting to take that excess residue and limiting the amount of time that it's going to be on the paper. So see that? All that's getting kicked up is the residue that the Heptane was helping to release. Getting that onto the plastic is way, way better than having it pushed all around on the paper, where I have to figure out a way to get rid of it on the paper later on. So now that it's on plastic, it's mostly just a matter, it's just a disinfecting wipe. It's mostly just a matter of cleaning that off. Cleaning that off. Yeah, and that's, so it's not even just the tools that you use, it's that where do you redirect the residue as you remove it to make it so you don't have more work for you coming on down the road. So there's a little bit of residue on here. You can see a couple little bubbles. Older adhesive residue will ball up. Again, check for color transfer. Older residue will ball up. See that? So that's old sticker residue. Okay, but that's what you want, is you want it to ball up like that so that you can go back and say, so you can go back and really specify, just cleaning this off again, really specify where you want the residue to go. So we got, oh, why do you use Heptane and why do you do it in a weird mode? Oh, gosh, I don't know. That's the result. Looks pretty good to me. So we got a couple different spots. We got one there. We got this label. That's about it, though. So that's cool. We'll see how this guy does. And this, I mean, this is the kind of stuff that you want to see. See that rolling, and then watch. You just keep rolling, and then there you go. A little bit of residue left over. That might actually just drop off. Yep. Right there. A little bit of residue left over. Not a big deal. Yeah, and that's why you want to change out your cotton swabs pretty regularly, because you just want to make sure that you're not just making things worse. Get a little bit on there. Get the dry side. There you go. Again, I mean, that it probably took me a little longer because I was talking through everything, but it's one of those things where it's like, if that is the result that you can get by using some specific methods, why not? You know, why run the risk? Someone tried to take this off at some point. See that? Why run the risk of using Goo Gone in a hairdryer and potentially damaging the label, you know, negating everything that you're doing? Why not try a different method? Oh, see, there we go. Why not try a different method that I continue to prove and use that as your main method to get really good results? This is going to sound kind of bragging, but look at the images of the cartridges at the beginning of my videos, especially when I do recoveries like this. Look at the pictures of the cartridge at the beginning, and then look at the picture of the cartridge at the end. it doesn't take that long. It's not like I'm like, oh, you have to soak this for 3 days and do this, that, and the other. It's a couple of tools. It's a couple of little maneuvers, and you can get a lot of stuff fixed up very easily with minimal stuff. I've had a couple of people tell me that they want links to the tools that I use. I can do that. A lot of these tools I get from Amazon, just because it's easy, and I can show you the different versions and what I get at Amazon because it's easy, and what, if I had my druthers, what I would buy somewhere else. So here's an interesting thing. So this label is newer, so it's kind of stuck on a little bit. It's got a little tack to it. Instead of using the scraper and potentially scraping up more residue, I got Heptane on a Q-tip. I'm going to pull up one side of the label, and the label kind of wants to go. It's peeling away a little slowly, and I'm just going to do what I usually do, is just rub that right onto the edge between where the label is coming off and the sticker itself. It should come off just fine. Okay. And then you want to get in here, not that one. You want to get in here and dry up any remaining Heptane that you have. And then what you're left with is a little pile of residue. Not a big deal, okay? Not a big deal at all. Same thing, you don't want to use the old Heptane towel. You want a new one just because you're going to be getting rid of a lot of residue. And it's the same idea. You're going to soak it and then start to wipe it towards the plastic. There's a little bit that's getting under the label. Should dry up fine, though. That almost went bad. Put your caps on your bottles. I was looking at it because I thought that there some residue or some Heptane got under the label, so I pulled it up to look at it. And the old little bottle almost went flying. Okay. Woo! This, I got to tell you, my camera is right here, so there's like 2 Nintendo cartridge heights away is the camera, and I'm trying to work, and I'm still getting used to it. I knock over so many things in the background, and hopefully you guys don't realize what's happening. See, well, that's the game store's label, but okay. And it doesn't. I got to get new bottles because these bottles don't entirely close. It's a little scary. No, I thought for a second that I got some Heptane under the actual game label, and I went to look at it, and anyway. And you guys probably didn't see any of that, and we're just like, what is wrong with him? What? Cat hairs. No, like this. Oh, come on. Why? Why, though? Like, is that necessary? Also, who's stealing this game that you had to beef up the securities on? Okay, so I peeled up to get the little... I usually don't know what that's made out of. I peeled up the paper label to expose this little guy. And so what you can do is when you get that little guy peeled up, you grab it, and then it pulls off the majority of the sticker. I don't understand. Like that. Okay. Okay. It's not even that this is a difficult thing to take off. Oh, I'm about to do it again. It's just that it's more tedious than anything. But, okay. Like, somehow this is the most annoying. Okay. Really? 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 That's just like Mama used to make. Look at that. These gloves, I have multiple pairs of these gloves. But these are getting a little sticky, so we might have to, oh my gosh, look at that. So we might have to do a new glove video. And the joke's on you, it'll look exactly the same. Look at how annoying is this. Oh my gosh, I'm gonna, all I'm gonna do here is just sit here and scrape with a plastic scraper and scrape this up. I will spare you that because that is probably gonna be an obnoxiously long video as is. I will spare you me sitting here scraping and I'll pick up right after I'm done. Yeah, because this will be dumb. Still cleaning it. It's been like 10 minutes. What I ended up doing, it's actually, yeah, it's about to come off. What I ended up doing was using this stuff, okay? This stuff is kind of like Goo Gone, but the complaint is that it's weaker than Goo Gone. And I know I always say don't use Goo Gone on carts. The reason that I kind of like this stuff, it's benzyl alcohol and terpene and a couple of different things, but I dilute it. So what I did was I had my spray bottle and I sprayed down the surface. Probably should have just filmed this. That's kind of dumb. Sprayed down the surface and then I added a couple of squirts of this Goof Off stuff. It's good at getting residue up, and what I was dealing with, and you probably can't even see it anymore. What I was dealing with was just this bally, sticky, older residue. And you just need something that's a little thicker in like a gel form almost that can kind of sit on there for a little while. But you want to dilute it. So Goo Gone is a lot more liquidy. And this Goof Off stuff is a lot more of a gel based kind of thing. I use this for not too often. I use it for like if someone's wrapped a controller in tape, so they like wrap up the cord and then they wrap the whole thing in tape. I'll spritz it down with water. I'll spray Goof Off on it, and I'll let it sit for a couple of minutes, and then I'll wipe it off. Just because it's a good way to kind of get an adhesive remover into a location that is difficult to use, but it's not. There we go. But it's not as like Heptane I want to use when I'm trying to protect the plastics and everything. I'll use Goof Off when I still want to protect the plastic, but I need something a little hardier, that sort of thing. So I'll do a video where I show when I use this. It's not super often. It's mostly just, I'm trying to think of something like Goodwill stickers. If you have a Goodwill sticker on like a controller or a console or something, this stuff works really well where you spray it on there and you let it sit for a second, and it'll help bring it up. It's a crap remover gel that works on crap. It's an adhesive gunk remover gel, which that's literally what they call it, and it works for junk adhesive, which is basically what I use it for. So it comes in handy sometimes. And when it does, it's super useful, but for the most part, it's not like the most amazing thing in the world. Yeah. Ugh. These things. Okay, well, first we'll get rid of this little guy, because that'll be easy. Yeah, I feel successful. Okay. Be careful when you use a Scotty peeler on a cartridge, because if the Scotty peeler is not perfectly sharp, you will just start to slice up some layer of the cartridge. Okay, so just be careful. I'm basically using no real pressure. I'm just pushing forward a little bit and just picking at whatever little surfaces I can. Again, no real heavy downward pressure. Oh my goodness. Oh. I knew it. 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 It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. I had a feeling that's how this was going to go. 3.8 millimeter bit. I'm going to see if maybe I can grab the insides. I knew it was going to shred, and I knew it was going to shred. And void. Okay. Okay, Video Land or whatever it is. That board looks good. Okay. Ooh. I'll get this peeled off. I hate these. And I hate these because I want to remove the plastic top coating because it'll make it easier to get, oh my gosh, a chemical down in there. Oh, hooray. Okay. So this, again, this is another spot that's just tedious. It's just tedious. So see, like, it'll come up. You just have to sit there. Video something. We'll probably make this a two-parter because this is going to get... This is just going to be me complaining for a while and you guys being like, really? He just complained for 20 minutes. Okay, so let me show you. Even if I put heptane on it and I start to pick it up, I literally have to go back in and reapply it every step of the way. Actually, I say that, and I might be wrong. This is actually cleaned up pretty nice. Actually, this is going to be a two-parter. We're already at like a half hour right now. Oh, gosh. So, which is good because I want to show you guys kind of how to remove these void security stickers. So, Video Town, if you're watching, I hope you are out of business. Okay. So make a second part after this, and I'll show you guys how to remove these kinds of void labels. This is like anytime that you get a shiny video rental sticker. This is almost always what is underneath it. It's not impossible to get rid of. It's not. They're just tedious and they're kind of annoying. And I'll show you guys a couple of different ways. And I'll try with this one to see if we can do a full Heptane release all the way across. That would be nice. But yeah, otherwise I'll just show you in the other video how to remove all of these. And then just some finishing stuff. There's a little residue on there. And then just some finishing stuff just to get this thing looking sharp. I don't know what that is. And there's a little bit of black marking on there. I'll show you guys how to remove that as well. Yeah, just the internal cleaning. Look at that. Blech. But board looks good. Yeah, board's looking good, which is good. No real issues. 1987. It was a hell of a year. So, that's it for part 1. Look for part 2. I don't know. I got to get better at the schedule. So look for part 2. Part 2, I'll show you how to remove these, how to clean things up. We'll go from there. Cool. Until next time. First of all, thanks for watching. Second of all, I'm going to get back to cleaning. All right. See you guys.